So, I'm recording this at 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Can you guess what it's going to be about? The fifth worst thing about insomnia, for me at least, is when you have some form of insomnia, whether it's brought on by pain, whether it's brought on by feeling queasy, whether it's just not being able to sleep and having true insomnia. I use insomnia as a catch-all phrase for certain things. The fifth worst thing for me is definitely how sharp the world feels. I'm hyper aware of the texture of what I'm lying under, what I'm lying on, the movements caused by my partner in bed, the sounds of the dogs downstairs when they move around a bit during the night, people walking past outside. It's how sharp all those are. It's almost like that moment when you wake up after a night on the tear and you haven't quite hit the hangover yet, but you feel the world far too sharply, far too I can't think of the word for it, far too keenly, and well, that's insomnia. And one of the things that is really one of the things that I get really keyed in on is how hungry I am, which happens to be number 4. Yeah, when I can't sleep, I'm hungry all the time. It doesn't matter how much I eat, how little I eat, whether I drink, whether I don't drink. It doesn't matter what I do. If I can't sleep, I'm starving. I'm sitting here thinking longingly of the apple tart that's out in the kitchen. Actually, my mouth is really watering at the thought of it. And I sometimes wonder, is it comfort eating? Because wanting to be asleep and not being able to be asleep is horrible. It's like your own body torturing you. It's like your own body mentally torturing you. We'll get to the physical part in a while. So yeah, the fact that I'm hungry all the time is kind of difficult. Of course, the third one can be kind of linked to, the third worst can kind of be linked to being really, really hungry. Yeah, the sounds of your own body, like say your stomach squirreling away because you're hungry, or in my case, every tiny click and creak that my bowel makes as it gradually builds up to the next catastrophic attack, which will just rip my body apart. But it's not just that. You become really aware of your own breathing, even little things like the sound of your eyes blinking. The only time I'm aware that there is a sound to my eyes blinking is when I can't get to sleep, because I'm lying there staring at the ceiling in the dark, my eyes are blinking, and it's all I can hear, apart from my own heartbeat, and every time I swallow, and the sound of my breathing, and the grinding sound I get in both my jaws when I yawn. It's horrible. Really makes you aware of your body, which is an unfortunate thing, because number 2 is how much your body aches. The ache you get from not sleeping at night and from being tired, it's something that I think most people probably experience at some point in their life, but it's really, really something that shift workers are aware of. You know, you work 3 days and then you work 3 nights, and your body just doesn't know what the hell has hit it. So you get these really, really bad pains across your shoulders and in your lower back because your back is working really hard all day, keeping you upright and keeping you moving and supporting your body weight and supporting your innards. Most of it, and let's face it, human beings are not particularly well balanced. We tend to fall forward. So you end up with these I certainly end up with these really bad aches in my shoulders, across my shoulders, and because of that my hands start aching. Actually my hands are kind of burning, and then your back starts hurting, and then my pelvis starts screaming, and that's a horrible sensation because it's kind of like my pelvis isn't attached to my spine anymore. Not very nice. But as unpleasant as that is, and it is very unpleasant, the most unpleasant thing for me is this. I don't want to lie there awake wasting time. Let's put it this way, I have a weird relationship with time. I have really accurate time sense for small amounts of time, but no time sense for large amounts of time. I've no real concept of what a year feels like, or even a week, but I'm pretty good at telling down to the second how much time has passed within a few minutes. And I think that comes from the fact that I'm 36 and I've gone to over 20 funerals of friends. I'm hyper aware of how fleeting and short life is. So if sleep to me is not a waste of life. You sleep, your brain processes, you dream, you get inspiration. Well, I do. I see people I'll never see again except in dreams. I'll do things I'll never do again except in dreams. Last night I dreamt about rock climbing. It was wonderful. I miss it terribly. But if I'm lying in bed awake and I feel that I'm not going to be able to get to sleep, I don't want to lie there. I want to get up. I feel like I should be up, that I should be doing things. I spent the last 2 hours working on plans for a new Let's Play. And so it wasn't wasted. But the other side of it is, I'm up. It's 4 a.m. And I keep thinking I should be in bed asleep, and I feel bad for not being in bed asleep. And it's this tug of war in my head between you should go to bed and try and sleep, and don't waste the time where you're awake and you're able to create and you're able to leave something and you're able to do something. But another part of my brain is screaming, but you're babysitting tomorrow at 3 o'clock and you want to be awake for that, and you have work to do before you go to that, so you should sleep. So yeah, not being able to sleep frickin' sucks. Bye.